Hi and welcome to another episode of the Redheaded Rundown.
He dropped it, man.
Okay, I guess we're starting with that.
He dropped it.
People who are saying it's the play call, stupidest thing I've heard all day.
Yes,
He
stupid.
catches it, and it's a tie ball game.
It was a great play call. They had every reason
He was open.
in the world to make that play call. They executed it perfectly, except for he dropped it.
Call him Aaron Judge in the fifth inning. Tough
Too
one.
soon. Too soon. You hate to see a game end like that.
I mean, if they would have gotten it, it would have been tied with a minute 33. I have trust in Josh Allen to drive down the field and at least kick a field goal and burn the.
Do you know if they had any more timeouts? They probably did.
The Bills definitely did. I don't know about the Ravens. But it's a tough way to lose. He's going to have nightmares of that until he dies.
I bet you he gets death threats.
Yeah.
We
way to
do
lose.
not condone any type of death threats to any athlete or person of any kind. But, man, what a tough way to end a season.
Very tough.
Obviously, it's not his fault. They could have been up 5 scores, but it did come down to that play, and
It doesn't
he dropped
help.
it.
It doesn't help that the Ravens had 3 turnovers.
Correct. Yeah, no, Ravens played a pretty sloppy game all around.
For sure.
So the fact that it comes down to that play, it shouldn't have come down to that play, but it did. And, yeah, like Robert said, catches it, minute 30 with multiple timeouts left. I guarantee you Josh Allen can at least get him into field goal range for the dub. So
Very true, very true. Also, I don't know how the Bills were underdogs in that game. They had a better record, higher seed. They were at home. Stupid. Vegas, retarded.
yeah,
Stupid.
come on now. Shout out to Josh Allen. He executed. He ran the ball like freaking Lamar Jackson, but a fullback version. He pretty much said, "I'm lowering my shoulder. Either stop me or I'm going into the end zone," and he did twice. Pretty sure he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson, a little sloppy. I think it might have been the snow, but they live in Baltimore. I'm sure they deal with snow on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
at least cold weather. But both snow games for both games today. That was crazy. Obviously, it had a major effect with both games. Out of the 4 teams, Robert, who do you think it affected the most?
The Rams,
I agree.
because they couldn't catch, fumbled it, I think, twice. Weren't ready for the snow.
Yep, they went from being on fire to being in the snow. So.
Good one. The Rams.
Okay, I guess moving on to the Rams and Eagles game.
Eagles.
One for the books.
Thought the Rams had him, looked like it, but turning the ball over and fumbling and not a recipe for a dub. Shout out to Saquon Barkley carrying the team on his back, and great job. Rams defense played well. Eagles defense played well.
The tricky part is Jalen Hurts is definitely injured.
He's hurt.
He's hurt, for sure.
Hurts is hurt.
Hurts is hurt. He has, a week to heal up, go, get checked out, get some treatment. But he did not, that safety, that was not the Jalen Hurts that I know.
Nope.
He was pretty much staying in the pocket, just letting it happen. But then again, he did have 2 Rams right in his face. So I don't know the last time I saw a safety live in playoffs.
There was 2 this divisional round. One
Yeah.
was on purpose. The other one was.
Yeah, I don't really call it a safety. It's more of like.
It's a safety.
It is a safety,
Either
but it's
way,
not a legit
anyway,
safety.
you peel the onion.
Sure, I would call that a lowercase s safety.
Okay. So we got the Bills Chiefs in Arrowhead. Give me a great game.
How many times have
Great
they found
game.
each other in the AFC Championship?
Once.
Once.
And then the
Chiefs
13-second game was the divisional round.
The what?
You don't know about the 13-second game?
No.
It was a very back-and-forth game. It was a back-and-forth game. Great game. One of the best. The funny thing is I didn't watch it, but I watched the replay. But I still know about it, unlike you. And the Bills were up, I think, by a field goal with 13 seconds. Patrick Mahomes drives down the field and kicks the field goal. And then this was still when the overtime rules was whoever gets the ball first and they score a touchdown, they
Right.
win. So the Chiefs got the...
Oh, they won the coin toss, and then they won.
Went down the field and won.
I now that you talk about that, I remember that.
Everyone, the Bills, everyone was complaining about it. So
now the rules changed.
The rules changed.
Josh Allen and the Bills have forever changed the NFL.
That's why last year in the Super Bowl, that's why that was the way it is, and the 49ers not knowing the overtime rules.
I want to bring something up. I learned today from the Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports that the NFL has part-time refs.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Like, these guys are refereeing the NFL as a side hustle?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Roger Goodell, you cheap son of a biscuit. What are you doing? You're telling me that you have a multi-billion-dollar entity and you can't pay a squad of full-time refs?
With bad reffing this whole game, all 4 games had bad calls in them that decided one team winning. Maybe not the Bills.
I'd say it was definitely
game. 3 out of the 4.
Very well sided on the Chiefs, though. Like, for the Chiefs.
No matter what I said,
so
just cry about it, just like everyone else.
I am going to cry about it because it's unfair. You literally said, be better, stop the defense. Like, you are saying
yes, there are bad calls in the NFL.
Yes.
But, like, the refs didn't make the kicker miss all of those. Like, it didn't define the game as people are saying it has.
It does define the game in a low-impact way. Right? It changes the momentum. It changes the drive, right? It's just like a missed strike 3 call. If it's a missed strike 3 call that should have been a strike 3 and they are out of the inning, that changes the game. If you get a roughing the passer on 3rd and long and now you get a personal foul, automatic first down, that changes the outcome of the game. You can't tell me that it doesn't change the game. It 100% changes the game.
Okay, yeah, it does, but not in this drastic way that everyone's complaining about it, and everyone's saying the refs are carrying the Chiefs to almost a three-peat.
But if that same drive that they should have been ended, where it ended, it's...
Regardless if they didn't call it or not or whatever happened, the Chiefs still would have won that game.
Not necessarily. We don't know that because the refs called the automatic first downs.
We're all in hypotheticals, and...
That's exactly my argument.
This argument is not going to change sides, so it's just pointless.
No, but it brings up a good topic because you're telling me that it doesn't have an outcome in the game. The referees dictate the outcome of the game.
I have said it does, but it's not in the drastic way that everyone's saying it is. Okay. The refs did not win the game.
Let me spoon-feed you this one more time.
Oh, my God.
So it's 3rd and 10. Patrick Mahomes throws a horrible pass and gets a roughing the passer call that shouldn't be roughing the passer. Without that roughing the passer call, it would be 4th and 10. They would punt it away. But because of that roughing the passer call, it's an automatic first down. They drive down and they score a touchdown. That has an insane impact on the game.
It matters when in the game, what time in the game.
We live together, we're brothers. This is what we do all the time, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying is if it makes you sleep better at night, knowing that you think that the refs are playing fair, go ahead. Refs dictate outcomes of games, and freaking Roger Goodell is telling me that they're paying part-time refs is insane. Can we at least agree on that?
Yes.
That's insane. $205,000 to $250,000 a year. I mean, that's amazing money. You're telling me that the NFL can't afford that?
And that's part-time?
No, I think that is full-time.
Full-time.
That's full-time. NFL, step up your game. You need full-time refs because we can't just, have these substitute teachers, part-time accountants just allowing the Chiefs to do what they do on the field.
Here's John Harbaugh defending Mark Andrews. Do you want to hear it?
All the guys like Mark. Same thing I would say to all the guys like Mark. I mean, Mark, there's nobody that has more heart and cares more and fights more than Mark. Because we wouldn't be here without Mark Andrews. That's what you say to him. So it's like anything else. I mean, destiny is a decision that you make, and it's a decision is how you handle, what comes in your life. And Mark will handle it fantastic, like he always does, because he's a high character person. He's a tough person, and he's a good person. So proud of him, just like I'm proud of all the guys. Same thing.
I mean, pretty standard. That's what you say. John Harbaugh is a strong Christian.
He looks good. He looks like he's lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
He's been like
Great
running.
guy. I love the Harbaughs.
I do too.
Both heartbreaking losses, though.
Yeah, I hate that, dude. I am a people person, and I am currently putting myself in Mark Andrews' position, and I am absolutely sick to my stomach. Out of 100 passes, he catches 99.9 of those passes.
Now, I want to ask you
As Robert would say, just be better.
Exactly. Great advice. I would be a great coach one day. Do we, besides our own team, the Broncos...
My team?
Do you... What?
My team, the Broncos?
Okay, say whatever you want. I'm still a Broncos fan. I'll still root for the Broncos over the Chiefs. I'm still 100% a Broncos fan.
Okay.
Do you ever want a team to three-peat?
Win 3 Super Bowls in a row?
Yes. Besides your own team, would you ever want a team to three-peat?
If I respected the team, yes.
If you respected the team.
Yeah. And I will say, it's hard not to respect the Chiefs. I do respect the Chiefs. But I just don't like Patrick Mahomes' game in the sense of, like, this kind of pritsy foot, like, guy that's looking for all of the penalties and calls. I just, I respect his arm power. I respect his scrambling ability. I respect his game. Like, falling over, throwing touchdown passes, you can't not respect that. I do not respect his lack of, like, toughness / like, just put your head down and work. He's flopping. He's trying to get the penalty. I know it's just a part of his game. I just can't respect that. I do respect the Chiefs. I do respect their dynasty. I'm a little biased in the sense of, like, I don't think Tom Brady's dynasty should be destroyed.
I don't think it will be destroyed.
Or I'm just saying, like, I want Tom Brady's dynasty to be undoubtedly the best. And no one's ever three-peated before. And so if the Chiefs three-peat, that corrupts the Patriots dynasty.
Another avenue.
Okay.
Do you think if the Chiefs three-peat, will he pass Tom Brady? Or
how many rings does he have? 3?
He has 3. If he three-peats, it will be 4.
Tom has 7?
Yeah. And if it's no, what will it take, in your mind, if ever, if Patrick Mahomes ever passes Tom Brady?
I'm going to break this down. I'm going to do a little 180. And I'm going to have you answer this question first because this is the redhead, and you're the redhead, and this is your rundown. Go.
I do not think Patrick Mahomes needs 7 rings or more than 7 rings to beat him.
Oof.
Also, I want to say, yes, I am biased and I don't like Tom Brady. It's probably because I like Peyton Manning more and he's a threat, and I don't like the whole cheating scandals, if they cheated or not, whatever. I just don't like him as a person or a player or whatever.
Come on this podcast, Tom. We'll see how much Robert hates you then.
I mean, if we get Tom Brady.
See?
I won't say anything to him. I'll leave. I won't even.
Yeah, big tough guy here.
Yeah.
So you think Patrick Mahomes doesn't need more Super Bowl rings than Tom Brady to be better than Tom Brady?
No. If he three-peats with 4 Super Bowls, I mean, that's a pretty dang good argument in and of itself. Now, granted,
argument to be like better than Tom Brady.
Yeah, did Tom Brady do it? But Now
I
another
think
avenue.
There's so many more factors that go into a Super Bowl win.
Another avenue of it
Mm-hmm.
is who won head to head. Who like Tom Brady beat him in the Super Bowl and in AFC Championship.
Yes.
So that's always going to be against him.
Tom Brady's 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Yes.
So that will always be against him.
And Tom Brady, you can argue, was at the lowest of his career. I don't even want to know what Tom Brady would do to Patrick Mahomes in his prime. Tom Brady in his prime.
That was 40-year-old Tom Brady.
Exactly. Like 40-year-old Tom Brady beats peak Patrick Mahomes. Like,
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, what would peak Tom? I mean, it's the same MJ Kobe or MJ LeBron argument.
For sure.
What does MJ do in his prime versus LeBron in his prime?
True.
But 40-year-old Tom Brady beats the prime Patrick Mahomes.
Before Tom Brady went 10 years without reaching or winning a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes ever does that? And if he doesn't do that, it's going to be hard not to pass 7 Super Bowls.
Are we talking going head-to-head, like talent versus talent in the QB section, or are we talking about the Patriots versus the Chiefs?
Let me ask you this. You would say that Tom Brady is better than Peyton Manning, correct?
Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, yes.
And
I take that back because they're just different.
It's hard to do a greatest of all time.
Exactly.
Because there's different styles of play. What did they do in the Super Bowl ring? With their Super Bowl rings?
You can't argue that Tom Brady is the most winningest quarterback to ever live.
Yeah. He has more Super Bowl rings than every organization
So I think he is a
football.
better winner than Peyton Manning. Period. I think Peyton Manning was a better overall quarterback than Tom Brady was. Like, he prepared better than Tom Brady. He knew how to call audibles better than Tom Brady. You know, but both Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both went to different organizations, and the first year they won a Super Bowl. Or wait, no, because Peyton Manning lost to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, then came back and won it. Right? Yeah.
Now, I asked you that because Peyton Manning head-to-head against Tom Brady in the playoffs, Peyton Manning
beat him 3-2, yeah.
3-2. So he has a better record head-to-head.
Right.
Moving to the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady thing,
Mm-hmm.
Brady has 2-0 on
Patrick Mahomes, yeah.
So does that make him a better quarterback? Also, who do you think is a better quarterback, Dan Marino or Nick Foles?
I don't know enough about Dan Marino's game.
Okay, well, that argument is Dan Marino never won a ring, and Nick Foles did. Some would argue that Dan Marino was a better quarterback than Nick Foles.
That's a good argument.
It's not always about the Super Bowl rings.
You're right.
Shout out to Russell for bringing that to. We had a conversation a while ago, and he brought that up, and I used it.
I think that it comes down to call a spade here. No quarterback could do anything without a really good offensive line.
Right.
You give both Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes a crappy offensive line, they both don't go anywhere.
Right.
They can't accomplish anything.
It would be interesting to dive into the stats and see who had the worst offensive line, who did it better.
So, with that being said, Tom Brady, it's a really hard question.
And there's really no other than stats, your opinion of who's the greatest quarterback is your opinion.
Right.
It's not. So it's there's bias in it. Me,
right. It's not like
guilty.
Who won the presidency? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Donald Trump won. End of story. There's not that.
Right.
When you claim someone to be the greatest of all time, that includes current time. So
the history of the NFL.
Yes, right. But if you're calling Tom Brady the best of all time, that is also including the present time, as in Patrick Mahomes right now.
Do you have a current GOAT? Who do you think is the greatest of all time?
I currently still think Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. But it's tricky because, that's a revolving door. If Mahomes goes for a 5 Pete and goes 5 for 5, that's a really hard argument to say that Tom Brady isn't the greatest of all time.
5 for 5.
Like, that's just crazy talk. But a 3 Pete, that's awesome. Patrick Mahomes is a fantastic quarterback. Do I think he's the greatest quarterback to ever live if he wins the Super Bowl? No.
Obviously it gets him closer.
It gets him closer. It makes his argument better.
I would love to see Tom Brady's first 7 years as a starter. I think, if I'm not wrong, Patrick Mahomes blows him out of the water.
But, see, that's a different argument because you have to establish the organization that each quarterback came into, right? Like, did Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady come into a better organization?
Who's a better coach, Andy Reid or Bill Belichick? Andy Reid could pass.
Bill Belichick's a better coach.
If he continues. He won his 300th game.
How many Super Bowl rings does Bill Belichick have? 6?
His 6.
How many does Andy Reid have?
3.
Okay. Now, see, here's a different topic. I think you actually can dictate the greatest coach to ever win by as many Super Bowls as they have won.
Why is it different with a coach than a quarterback?
Because a coach can literally manage everything. A quarterback cannot. And this is a hot take. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. But a head coach literally is the overseer of everything in his clubhouse, everything in his locker room, from everything, from offense to defense to special teams, to the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. The head coach is the top dog, right?
Right.
Therefore, if you win a Super Bowl or not, that is measurable, right? It's not like, oh, well, Bill Belichick threw for 600 passing yards, but he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. How many Super Bowls do you have? How many have you lost? How many winning seasons have you had? How many AFC conferences do you have? How many divisional titles do you have? Very black and white when it comes to coaching. You either are successful or you're unsuccessful. Now, what do you claim as a successful season? Making the playoffs, making the AFC Championship, making the NFC Championship, winning a Super Bowl, going to the Super Bowl? That is up for debate. When you say Bill Belichick versus Andy Reid, I think it is fair to judge them strictly based off of Super Bowl victories. What is your take?
But a season couldn't go wrong with a mistake that the coach didn't make, like a drop ball, a bad interception the quarterback threw.
Sure.
So I think, in my eyes, the coach and the quarterback are the same.
But the coach doesn't literally have that on his back. Like, when Bill Belichick calls a play, Tom Brady goes and executes the play.
But what if the quarterback doesn't execute the play correctly?
Well, then the coach has to establish the game plan to have that player execute the correct play. So you don't think that judging coaches is as black and white as I think it is?
Explain black and white, just like straight up, like...
Yeah, you're either you're a winning coach or a losing coach.
And you don't think that with a quarterback, you're either a winning QB or a losing QB? Do you think as a QB there's more factors?
There's more factors, absolutely. Yes, that's what I'm arguing. There's less factors as a head coach.
Because of your defense, running back.
Your special teams, your blah, 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 blah. It's the coach's job to manage all of that and to make those decisions. The quarterback doesn't make special team decisions.
I would just argue that the coach could execute it flawlessly, but the player has to execute.
Right, and if they don't, as the head coach, you need to alter that perfectly executed plan so it actually is perfect.
But what if they're uncoachable? What if they're...
Then therefore, unfortunately, because you hired that, you made the trade, you picked up that quarterback, that's the responsibility of the coach and the organization. That's on them.
I think a QB and the coach, a great coach and QB has so many factors into it that I think they're the same.
They're not the same.
Okay, that's the end of that conversation. Really quick, or not, might get into a tangent and argument again.
Here we go.
So, I want to reestablish our picks because the Lions are out and we both had them making the Super Bowl. You had them winning the Super Bowl. So,
I did.
I am still going with the Chiefs over the Bills. I still think they can still get it done.
Hope the Bills show up, man.
They will definitely show up. It will be a great game, and the Chiefs will win by 3.
Play spoiler.
They will win by 3 or less than 3.
Less than 3?
They could win by 1 or 2 points.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I think it's gonna be a great game.
I already have anxiety.
Every time they play each other, it's a close, great game. So I'm excited. And if the Bills beat them, more
You're a
power.
Broncos fan, so it doesn't really matter.
So true. If they beat them, more power to them. You're obviously the better team. Go win a Super Bowl. Why not? It'll make things more interesting.
But Dave Portnoy has $1 million on the Bills.
That is crazy. That will turn into $6 million.
6 point something crazy million if the Bills actually win out.
All right. So
Dave Portnoy will win.
That's
6x.
insane.
Yeah.
So I have the Chiefs. You have the Bills. Let's not think of the loser's punishment on the spot. We can think about it.
Okay.
Commanders, Eagles. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Commanders.
Commanders. They're a hot team.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is healthy. He looked pretty banged up by the end of that game.
Well, they have a week to prepare. They can.
And knee is not going to be fixed in a week. I'm sorry.
He didn't tear his ACL.
But it's also not in tip-top shape either. Like,
It's true.
I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is a better running quarterback than a throwing quarterback. And if he's limited to only throwing, I think that really, really puts a damper on their offense.
So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay. I mean, dude, Saquon Barkley. Balling out.
Going to carry him. And defense is great. So rematch, Eagles, Chiefs.
So we both disagree on both ends of the spectrum,
Yes.
AFC and NFC. I don't know. It's going to be a really good game.
So Bills over Commanders. I have Chiefs over the Eagles. That is our updated bracket. Also, we went 3-1.
Well, technically, I did have the Rams beating the Eagles. Because remember, I switched. The Chiefs, I mean, they have no reason to lose.
So true.
So
It's going to be a fun one.
let's see if they three-peat. I would rather see the Commanders. If the Chiefs win, I'd rather see the Commanders play the Chiefs than the Eagles play the Chiefs. Because the Eagles are not healthy. I just don't want the Chiefs to win another Super Bowl. I don't want them to three-peat.
You and the rest of America.
Exactly. America, Trump's president.
He's on your
Chiefs
side.
will lose. God is good.
I'm the redhead, and that was my rundown. Thanks for watching, folks.
A longer rundown than we were expecting.
Yeah, because we went on tangents.
We did, and that's the beauty of podcast. Thanks for watching. We love you. Make sure you like and subscribe. We love doing this podcast. We hope you love watching it.
Oh, tomorrow's the college
Oh, yes. The
Championship.
national championship, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Go Notre Dame. We will be doing a podcast tomorrow night.
Yes,
A recap.
I've never been an Ohio State fan, so go Notre Dame.
Go Notre Dame. We will do a recap on that game as well tomorrow night. So you get 3 pods in a row. Hope you like it. See you tomorrow.
Subscribe.